Hey y'all, I'm Amanda, the Ever Hopeful Gardener, and today I'm going to walk you through how to make some plastic gutter planters for your cattle panel arch. This is an arch I made with a piece of cattle panel from Tractor Supply and 4 T-posts. I saw Kyle from Urban Farmstead create the most beautiful metal gutter planters and put strawberries in them. I couldn't find anything like that, so I decided to go with what my local big box store had, which was these plastic vinyl planters. And I just like being able to increase my growing space. I like being able to do lettuce in the summer because whatever's growing on the arch provides it some shade so the heat doesn't kill it completely outright. Please ignore how bad the lettuce looks right now. I have not been watering it and it's been really hot. So it looked better yesterday. Anyway, in the bottom 2 planters, I started some lettuce, and in the top 2 planters, I've got, in the top one, 3 purple hyacinth bean vines, and in the second one, whatever has wanted to grow here, I have let grow here. We've got some random celosia and tomatoes, I guess from seeds in the compost that I put in here. You are a little limited in what you can plant in gutter planters, especially depending on how deep they are. They do need a lot of water. They are hard to irrigate. I have to hand water mine, and you can't grow anything obviously like root crops in them because they are so shallow. I find that things like lettuce and arugula, spinach, strawberries, anything shallow rooted does really well. But also you can grow some, I mean, I'm so surprised with how well these purple hyacinth bean vines are doing. And even the celosia is looking happy. So really the sky's the limit in terms of experimenting and seeing what does well. My cattle panel arch is 50 inches wide, and the gutters that I found at my big box store come in 120-inch lengths. So I decided to measure each gutter planter at 40 inches. That way I could get 3 gutter planters from 1 gutter that I purchased at the store. And I think it looks nice and centered on this 50-inch wide arch. Let's get started building because I hear thunder. Picked a terrible time to record this video. It's also really hot. Let's talk about what you're going to need for this project and how much it's going to cost. For me, in North Carolina, I purchased this stick vinyl gutter for $6.58. And I'm realizing I didn't get enough to make 3. I got enough to make 2. For every gutter planter, you're going to need a set of these gutter end caps to keep the soil in. And I think these are the most expensive part of the project. One set of these will run you $10. Seems kind of crazy. You're also going to need hooks to attach your planter to your cattle panel arch or whatever arch you're going to attempt to put it on. And these tarp hooks, tarp rope hooks, are $3.78 each. I got a couple packs of machine screws with nuts, so they are not pointed, they're flat. And those each were $1.48. And then I got washers. These were 24 cents each. The tools you're going to need are, I am going to cut this gutter with a hacksaw, and I'm going to use a drill to be able to drill the holes in it for the tarp hooks, and a tape measure, which I have already lost, no surprise there, a tape measure to measure out 3 lengths of 40 inches. So let's get started. I would like to point out it's important to mount the hook on the gutter with enough room for the washer and the nut. On this one, I did not. That was annoying. Because these are plastic vinyl gutter planters, they have a little bit of give to them. I have decided to use zip ties to help make them stay more securely up against the trellis, just so they don't kind of gape open. And now I'm going to fill these. I'm all out of zip ties. I'm going to get some of those ordered, and I'm going to fill these with some soil from a recent bokashi soil factory that I did earlier this summer. That is getting really annoying with that small spade, so we're just going to use our hands. So this is where you can start to see how the weight of the soil has made the gutter planter kind of like bow out from the cattle panel trellis. And this is where I could add some zip ties to the ends to make it sit more straight up and flush. I'm actually going to run inside and see if I have any. I actually found some zip ties inside, and these are fantastic because these are reusable zip ties, which I did not know existed until last year. And I do have to connect 2 of them, maybe 3 of them together. Yes, 3. I just realized I left out a really critical step, and that is drilling drainage holes in the bottom of the gutter planters. You definitely need drainage holes. This is much easier to do before they're filled with soil. Doesn't really matter what size drill bit you use for this. I mean, obviously you don't want to use your largest drill bit and have soil falling out of the hole, and you obviously don't want to use a tiny, tiny drill bit where barely any water can get out. Just use your best judgment. I don't even know what size this is. I'm going to plant more lettuce. I'm just going to use my pinky to create a small furrow down the length of the gutters. Lettuce seeds are very tiny, so they won't need to be buried deep. Okay, there you have it. I've got 2 new gutter planters filled with lettuce, and I will be making a 3rd once I go back to Lowe's and get more of the tarp hooks, the bolts, the washers, the nuts, and the end caps. Check out the caption for all the details and links to everything I used here today. I feel like that was really low energy. It's really hot out. So hot. I just wanted to show you, this is my other cattle panel arch, and I also have some gutter planters over here, and in these I have strawberries. They do pretty well for being extremely neglected and almost never watered, but I do feel like having strawberries this high off the ground and at a place where the birds like to pause and rest is almost like offering them a strawberry buffet. It's like too easy. So the birds eat the majority of these. I probably should transplant these somewhere else and just do some more lettuce or something else fun here.